So right now we're going to take a look at the Titan Army C34CHR, and this is a curved ultra-wide gaming monitor. It's 165 Hertz to make sure you get that nice fast refresh rate for your fast games. Got a 1 millisecond response time. It's 3440 by 1440, which is 21:9 aspect ratio. And this is a 34-inch monitor. Just as I was finishing the video, they sent over a coupon code, so let me talk about that. I came over here and looked around at the different prices on this and similarly featured things, and it's got a pretty good price point already for the specs that you get. Like there's things that are similar in price. Like this one here is very similar, but as you can see, it's a little cheaper. So these are probably using very similar parts. So $50 off will bring it down to the same price as the Karui. But they've also given us an additional $10 off with a coupon code, TECH, C34CHR. So when you're checking out on Amazon, be sure to put a check mark to apply the $50 coupon, and then when you're in your cart, use TECH, C34CHR to get an additional $10 off. So that makes the price really good in my opinion, and this is not a sponsored video. They just sent over all these coupons, so I'm just relaying all the savings on to you. We will get down to business on this monitor right after these messages. Thanks to Hookeys for sponsoring this video. Now these are OEM Windows keys. That means that you do your own tech support. You're not going to be relying on Microsoft, and they're generally locked to the hardware. But look at this price, $22.92. No. We got a coupon code. Click on Buy Now. Put in coupon code TS25. Hit apply, and that price comes down to $17.19. Now when you compare that to the outrageous prices from Microsoft, you'd have to buy this many times to equal the price of one regular key from Microsoft. As of right now, this Windows 10 Pro key will unlock Windows 11. We also have Windows 10 Home, Windows 11, you can buy it directly, Windows 11 Home, and we have 2 flavors of Office. Once you're finished, all you have to do is click on your user account up here, go to your user center, click on My Purchase Orders, just View Keys and Codes, and you can just copy and paste your key, hit Start, type Activate, click on Activation Settings, paste it in there, click on Next, and you will be activated. So head on over to Hookeys.com to get yourself an OEM Windows key at a price that makes sense. I felt big when I picked it up, so I measured it, and it's actually a little over 34 inches, almost close to 35 when I did a diagonal, but it's a curved monitor with a 1500R curve. Pretty good curve, but for the size of the monitor, I kind of feel like it needs a curve. So it feels really good. And you're kind of like drawn into the middle of the action while you're playing your games. It's got picture-in-picture. I didn't use it, but you can set it up to have multiple different inputs and put, different things in different parts of the screen. Since it's more than 16:9, maybe that'll be something you're interested in. We also have the Adaptive Sync, which is like the AMD FreeSync or whatever, and that'll help with any screen tearing. I kept it turned off because I didn't want to introduce any latency. And with the 165 Hertz panel, it's very difficult to notice the screen tearing, but if you notice it, you can turn on Adaptive Sync if you like. It's also HDR 400, which I feel like just checks a box, but I don't even turn that on. Whenever I see HDR 400, it's not like a thing I use. So yeah, it's there, but whatever. 99% of the sRGB gamut. And then on the back, we have 2 HDMI 2.1s and 2 DisplayPort 1.4 plus an audio out. So you can plug up whatever you want to it. You can plug up your computer, your laptop, your Switch, whatever. Just plug it into all the different things. The dimensions of this unit are 31.84 by 20.11 by 10.08 inches. And then we also have a 75mm VESA mount on the back. So this is a VA panel, which means that it's going to have very nice black levels, and the colors are crisp. They're not quite as vibrant as an IPS panel, but you're not going to get any color bleed like you sometimes get on an IPS. There's always like give and take. Now, ghosting has come quite a long way when we talk about VA panels, but VA panels do have more ghosting than IPS and significantly more than OLED, but they're lower in price. So you're sacrificing a little bit when it comes to that to get a lower price. But before we get into talking about how gaming is on this, I want to talk about ghosting for a minute because I kind of noticed it a little bit. And I loaded up Dusk because Dusk doesn't mess around. It's fast. All kinds of stuff going on, and you're always whipping around your camera. Now when I'm playing the game, you kind of don't notice it. Your brain just gets into the game and it moves around. It feels a little bit like motion blur. By the way, if you're playing the game with motion blur, then just skip the whole ghosting thing because you don't care. You don't care because motion blur is a way smudgier, worse feature than ghosting. So when you're moving really fast in this game, some of the stuff in the game is going to have ghosting. You can see right there the little Marine on the screen. Yeah, there's like a couple of them, and that's in one frame. I made sure to set my frame rate on my camera higher than the refresh rate on the monitor, and that's just one frame. So there you can see it. You can see like the walls and stuff have ghosting, and the ghosting is worse in the darker areas than it is in the lighter areas. That's just the nature of how the VA panels work. But yeah, you do see it. Whereas a lot of people recommend these ultra wide monitors for Twitch gaming and super fast gaming and whatnot. I don't think this is something you're going to be using for competitive gaming. It's more of something you'd use for like an immersive experience. I love playing strategy games like City Skylines 2. I played that on this. I actually leveled up my city. I was playing it for a while because I love being able to see that much of what's going on in my game. And that's one of the things that I really always use an ultra wide monitor for. Whereas where it comes to like FPS games and whatnot, I use a CRT. And if I don't have a CRT, maybe I would use an OLED, but I don't have an OLED. I've got a CRT. I use a CRT whenever it comes to stuff I want, whenever I need like super fluid motion. Nothing's going to compete with the CRT, so that's kind of not fair. Not even an OLED can compete with that. They're also big and heavy and expensive and old. So yeah, I'm bringing them into this conversation because we've come this far, but we still haven't gotten better than a CRT when it comes to motion. Now, having said that, so what else am I going to play with this? Well, I do like playing some platformers and side scrollers and stuff that you can just sit back and chill and play. Games like Street Fighter and stuff look really good on this. They're crisp, the black levels, the contrast is great, and the color on this monitor is really nice as well. It's something kind of goofy. Street Fighter 6, they put bars on the side, so I mod those out so you can see the entire thing because you got a 21:9 monitor. I want to see the whole thing. There's a lot of games that do that. So in the next video, if you stay tuned, I'll make a video just showing you how to quickly figure out how to make any game ultra wide, because pretty much all the old games, almost all the old games, do work or do have some way to make them run in ultra wide mode, especially the old 3D games and stuff. I want to note that these tests were done with the gaming mode or the response time on fast. I forget what it is, but if you go into the actual menu, you do have several different settings that you can change, and that's one of them. The other things that you can do that are notable, you can turn on the blue light guard or whatever it is. It's a thing that, well, everyone always says it's for eye health, and there's absolutely no science whatsoever that says that blue light is harmful to your eyeballs. You can just look at blue light all day long if you want to, but you won't sleep that well because it messes with your circadian rhythms. So later in the day, if you want to, you can turn on that blue light thing just to kind of get yourself ready for bed. You want less of that blue light later in the night. Now also in there, if you want to cheat, you can go in and turn on some crosshairs that will appear on the screen. Now if you're streaming on Twitch or something, these crosshairs are appearing on your monitor itself. They're not appearing on the actual game. So they're an overlay. You can just turn off your crosshair and act like a sniping badass with no crosshair. If you wanted to be a deceitful cheater and liar, you could do that. Let me talk about the stand on this, because the stand does its job. It doesn't feel very substantial, but it's made out of metal. So it just, I don't know, it doesn't have a premium feel at all. You can, a lot of up and down, it's got tilt. You can position it exactly the way you like it. It works very well. It just doesn't, I don't know, it's metal, but it just feels like kind of it's straight out of a metal shop, and it's like, here you go. So it doesn't have like a super refined feel, and I'm kind of okay with that because you don't use, like, the stand is not the thing that you're using. You're using the monitor. The stand is just there to hold the monitor up, and that's exactly what it does. So I'm kind of okay that they cut some corners with the stand because it doesn't feel like low quality or anything. It just feels, even has a little spot in the back where you can route your cable. So I don't want to complain about this, but I just want to mention that, yeah, if you get this, it's very utilitarian. All right, let's sum it up. I've played a lot of games on this. I did have a lot of fun. The ghosting was there. You could see it. The colors are pretty good. I've seen some monitors that are similar. There's alternatives. If you want a video just talking about how much I like ultra-wide monitors and what I like them for, well, that could be a separate video. But there's all kinds of different things. RPGs and strategy games are actually my favorite on these. Stuff where you have grids and combat and you can see all around, XCOM or whatever. That kind of stuff I love on these monitors. Games like Alan Wake, or just even 3D games that have like some atmosphere, look really awesome. And especially with a little bit of curve, it kind of pulls you in. Thought it looked amazing on this monitor. So it all depends on what you want to play. If you're super competitive and you can't handle any ghosting whatsoever, you're going to need to probably get a TN panel that's not going to look as good as this. But if you don't care about being an extreme competitive gamer and you want something that has better contrast, better black levels, nice color, 165 hertz, and a lot of desktop real estate, and just a lot of space to like suck you in. So let me know what you think of this in the comments. Is this something that you're considering? Are you considering an ultra wide in general? Do you want some more videos on ultra wides? Because I like them. Anyway, see you in the comments.